It may have gotten you to a certain point, but is it gonna get you to where you need to be next? And that is the biggest question. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel where we talk the inner work required to build an intentional and purposeful life. Today I have a very special video that I feel that some of you all can relate to in your walk towards building a purposeful and intentional lifestyle. So if you're watching this video, you're probably someone who is dedicated to your level up journey. You're dedicated to becoming the woman God has called you to be. And you've maybe recently made some changes in your life that have been very challenging. You may have told yourself that you want to change the way you look. You want to, lose weight, or you want to be around more supportive people. Whatever that change may be, it's representative of your level up. It's representative of the level that God is calling you to. If you find yourself in this phase where you have decided to make a transition, or you are on the precipice of making a transition, this video is for you, because we're going to talk about why it feels harder when you're leveling up to your next season, why the resistance turns up in your life, why it feels like you're pushing up against a thick wall when you've decided that you want better and you want something new. And we're going to talk about how you can overcome this and be able to step into your next level confidently and boldly despite the opposition that may be coming to you. And there is a spiritual explanation for this, and there is a mental, emotional explanation for this, because when you are coming out of something older, the resistance of the old you is going to try to hold you back to keep you comfortable. So a few years ago, I really got intentional about my life. That meant that I had to let go of some things that I didn't necessarily want to leave. This was relationships, old beliefs and ideas that I was holding on to, but I knew that I couldn't take it with me where I was going. And it wasn't until I had to go through the experience of losing those things that I look back in hindsight and realize that those things were not conducive to where I was going. And I know the moment that I really decided to take this serious, that's when a lot of opposition turned up in my life. My relationships had fallen away, and there was a lot of questioning if I was on the right path or not, simply because what I knew and what was familiar was no longer there. You can go through mental turmoil, emotional turmoil, trying to figure out why the familiar isn't there, or even just wanting to go back to what's familiar. That right there in itself is a form of opposition, because it wants to keep you in a place settling. I realized each step of the way I had to make a choice, a conscious step, even if it was the smallest step, to continue to move towards this life. I know that I want a relationship that is gonna, be a God-led relationship, and it's gonna be a thriving relationship. But I knew that the relationship that I was in was not that. I knew that it wasn't gonna serve me and that it was gonna end there, so I had to walk away from it. I had to go through a period of isolation and loneliness where I do feel like God met me in that space simply because he needed to grow me and evolve me. It can feel unbearable at times. You might even have like the thoughts of, did I make the wrong decision? Maybe doubts, maybe fear, maybe you have anxious thoughts about the path that you're walking on. The thing that has helped ground me as I continue to walk towards this life that I'm building, and the inner shifts and the mindset shift that I've had to have, is I look at where I used to be and I logically tell myself, or I ask myself, was I willing to stay in this? Did this thing serve my highest level? Was this thing going to elevate me to where I was going? A lot of the times when you're moving and you're growing, the answer is going to be no. It may have, whatever the thing is in your life, and I want you to think about it, whatever that thing is in your life, it may have gotten you to a certain point, but is it going to get you to where you need to be next? And that is the biggest question. Once you know you're moving towards what's in alignment, nothing can stop you anymore. And that doubt, the fear, the resistance is going to start to calm down after you continuously walk this path. I want to talk about how you can push through this even more. If you're at a phase where you're questioning yourself, you feel stuck, you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what to turn. Are you moving towards, you know, this growth season that you desire, right? That will get you excited about what's to come, even if it may be hard or tough or awkward. And trust me, sometimes it's really awkward. Sometimes you have really awkward moments, but that's okay, because it's a part of the change. It's a part of the journey. The biggest way I've been able to push past, you know, the opposition of growth is looking towards the future, trusting in the future that God has for me and walking towards it day by day. No matter the step, no matter if it's a baby step, a large step, whatever step that I can do the next day, I'm just intentional about that. And that has helped my anxiety. That has helped my overthinking. This is how you're going to get through the resistance when everything in your mind and your body, your soul, and your environment is telling you to go back. All these things are telling you to go back. It does not mean that you have to go back. It does not mean that you have to listen and fall prey to that. You can continue to chuck forward with these practical steps. So this is what has helped me be able to be here and be okay after failed relationships. Maybe, you know, relationships that did not last in my life. I'm hopeful for the future, and that I'm, you know, moving towards that, even when everything in my life or even in my mind is telling me that's not possible for you. I'm able to stand on a strong foundation of this is possible for me, and it may not happen tomorrow, it may not happen the next day, but eventually it is going to happen. And this is another thing we can talk about in another video, which is just affirming your life. Like, the power of the tongue is so real. When you speak on things, you speak life over yourself, right? That is another way that you can push past resistance. Speaking life over your situation, doing the inner work, or making the inner shifts, right? So not only are you speaking the affirmations, but you're logically registering it as your new reality. And this is how you step into this new season and level up despite the resistance. And I hope that this video has helped you, especially if you are in a transitional season or you're thinking about taking a leap of faith and stepping out into this next level of growth for yourself. It encourages you that even if the resistance is there, it does not mean that you should turn back. If anything, that's a sign to keep going. If this video helped you, definitely let me know in the comments below, and let me know in the comments below also any topics you would love for me to address. We're gonna be posting weekly videos now. I've really been brainstorming what I've been wanting to do with my channel and how I want to show up to the world, and it's been a process, but I've said yes to the call. I have committed to it, and this is what we're doing. Or I would love to be able to build that relationship with you all. So definitely like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear it today, and subscribe if you want to stay. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.